Hey guys, it's RocketMax32 here, and today's video is obviously a little bit different style. We have all of the new August 2025 set leaks out. They're crazy, there's a ton of them, and I didn't want to just talk at y'all the whole time. Thought it would be a lot more interesting if I brought in another LEGO expert with me and we could just have a conversation back and forth. So this is me and my buddy Noah playing some Fortnite, just talking about the new sets, and y'all are just gonna get to clue in a little bit. Obviously this is a very long video, but definitely stay tuned because we talk about a lot of crazy stuff with these new sets, and my buddy Luke pops in later as well. That's it from this short little intro. Let's get straight into the video. Hey guys, it's RocketMax32 here. Today, a little bit different style video. We are obviously in Fortnite. That's not the primary focus of today's video. We're talking about the new 2025 summer leaks coming out in August, and we have a little bit of differing opinion on some different things. So we're going to just jump right into it, have a bit of a conversation. And by the way, this is my friend Noah.
Hello.
So first up, we have the MTT.
I think it looks great. I wish there were more clones in it.
No, yeah.
Droid amount is probably good. Obviously, it's MTT. You're going to have a lot of droids in it. I don't like that they changed the commando droid color.
Yeah, I was wondering what you would think about that.
Because, like, they're not maroon, like, in the entire
they're usually
Clone Wars
like
show.
Brown.
Why did they change them?
I feel mixed because on the one hand, they're wrong. But on the other hand, the gunmetal actually looks kind of fire in my opinion.
Yeah, they look good. It's just weird.
This is
like,
not correct.
why would they change something that they've already made?
Right.
We shouldn't be surprised, but still.
But still, like, for $150, what is that? $160 set. Oh my goodness, sorry, I had to look at my phone.
Yeah.
$160 set. I personally would expect them to get colors right. I feel like you don't have to say like, oh well, I don't really know when it costs that much, you know?
Yeah. It's not a bad thing though. Like,
it's not a bad thing.
If that were the worst part about the set, it'd be fine. And honestly, I think the set's great. The build looks really nice.
Looks good.
Colors are good.
People were worried it was going to be downsized, and it looks like it's downsized versus the.
It's a tiny bit
versus 2008,
downsized.
But 2014 was a micro MTT, and obviously don't have it in hand yet.
It definitely is smaller than the 2008 one.
Yeah. But it looks bigger than the 2014 one.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, but that's going to be my problem with most of the things is it's expensive.
It's expensive.
And for how much you're paying for it, I would like there to be more actual minifigures in it besides Tutso.
Yeah, it's just like, relatively speaking, there aren't even that many droids. Like, there's a lot of droids, but like we've had MTTs with like 16.
Six regulars and 3 commando droids.
And then a pilot, yeah. So
yeah, but like you could
10.
You could easily get more than that in one.
Absolutely. I think the main focus on this set, Commander Bly.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think?
Which I think he looks pretty good. Wait, let me find a good picture of him.
Yeah.
Okay, here he is. I think he looks pretty good. I mean, I think they use the same torsos for all of the other ones from Battle Pack.
I was just looking at that. I think it might be.
Okay, that's a little lame if they did that.
The same thing with who was it? Vaughn. He might be different.
Well, no, he had at least he had a little like star thing, but he was technically
right.
But they gave him the visor and they gave him pauldron, which I know they gave all of them pauldrons, but the new pauldrons look good.
It looks like there's some more printing on his legs.
Okay, well, if that's the case, as long as there's a little bit of something to differentiate, then.
But it's not much.
I'm on board with it.
But
yes,
again,
I like it compared to the plastic one that they've put on.
Right.
Is it Rex that has the plastic one? Or did he have a cloth one? He had a cloth one.
Yeah,
Never
he had
mind.
a cloth one. I like this one better. So
and then
he has, of course, no waist cape.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just be like, yeah, that's fine, but. Also, were we expecting anything different at this point?
Yeah, I'm at the point where I don't really expect it to happen, and so as long as everything else looks good, I'm okay with it. But I would definitely like him to have that.
Ayla Secura looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just improved in every way. I literally saw people online complaining about the color of her lips. I'm looking at it now. Their lips. She looks fine.
Yeah.
Like, they're there.
Yeah, they are lips. Okay, do we factor in price to it, or are we just...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. This MTT
coming
with
after me.
these minifigures for this price.
Let's see. I'd probably give it like a 7 or 8. I don't think I'd have any perfect 10s across the board here.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
7 feels pretty fair.
Because I think there's some great sets here, some great concepts, some great minifigures, but then all of them are either missing something or overpriced, which we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay. You call it a 7. I think I'll call this 8.5.
That's fair.
I think that this is one of the best of this release, personally.
Yeah, I'd actually bump it up to a 7.5 or an 8.
That's fair.
I just think compared to all the other stuff in
That's
wave,
where
this
I'm
is
at. Is the
probably
comparison.
the best of the bunch.
Which leads us directly into the other $150 set. How many times?
$160.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Dude, I have in my head these are $150 sets. They are in fact $160 sets. I thought you get
not
both
quite.
of these for $300, but you get both of these for $320. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So when was the last time that Lego released like $200 and something play sets at the same time? You know?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
I feel like that
it's been a
doesn't
while.
happen. Like we had the ATTE and the gunship on the shelves at the same time, but they came out drastically apart
They
from
were
each other.
different release
Right.
times.
The Republic Juggernaut, it's a turbo tank. At first thing, it's small. Like the build is small. I also think that
Very
this is
small.
the best detailed we've ever got.
I could hear you out on that. I think, let me think. Looking at it, the small details, like the extra pieces they put on there, those look good. The front looks good. The wheels, I kind of like the bigger wheels better,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
the detail looks fine. The tower, I absolutely hate. Like
The
little
tower is
watchtower
weird.
thing.
I
That's
don't know
awful.
what they're doing with that. That's totally fair.
They've used like a bucket piece or like built it
Yes.
up around the person instead of just making them stand there. I think that looks terrible. I just now noticed that
which
too.
is the same. You have to consider that with the fact that you're spending $160 on this set, you know? Like, that's going to factor into the rating.
Just now noticed that, and it's pretty bad.
But that leads us directly into the minifigures.
I think they look great.
They look great. So, for $160, I'd like to see more minifigures, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to suffer, or I know it suffers from the same thing that keeps happening with Lego, which is they give us a set with like however many seats in the ship or whatever, and don't even give us enough minifigures to fill it out. You know? And
although with the size of this one, you might be able to pull it off.
maybe I
But
guess that's fair.
Still,
But like you get these sets and like you think that like, oh, you can't even fill it with what they give you in the box. And usually I don't like complain too much about that. But when I'm spending $160, I'm like, well, you could have put in 2 more Marines, you know, or even just some like regular P2 clones. Like we know that they have those mass produced. You can just pop a couple of those.
Throw some regulars in there.
But they didn't do that, which is a little annoying.
Yeah,
but
I'd agree.
The actual minifigures.
That's why they got a battle pack for you, so you can add other clones that way.
Buy 'em. It's just another purchase.
Buy more cards.
So then it comes to the Galactic Marines.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I think they look good. I haven't taken a super close look at them, which I am doing now while I'm being shot at.
I know. Yeah, if y'all are judging our Fortnite gameplay harshly, we're going to make fun of you because we're staring at our phones more than we are at the game at this point.
I think that they look pretty good.
I agree.
Like, I won't lie, I'm pretty happy with them. Like, they could have done a lot worse. And I've seen good like
customs
fake Lego versions of them that look great and probably better than these.
I have to say this just to put it out there and say that I've said it. They should have waste capes.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of They Should Have Waste Capes. I think we all
every clone
know
set.
that. Yeah, literally. No, we're gonna keep saying it because they keep giving us cool things that should have them. But beyond that, I'm actually gonna go as far as to say that they are perfect. Like actually,
I'm not mad about that. they're pretty good.
Like,
Let me take a... Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
a fan of aftermarket, so a lot of people are going to be like, oh, just buy like a Clone Army
like,
Customs cape or
yeah.
something. And I'm like...
I've done that before, and they're nice, but
They
you
are.
definitely just want it to be like the actual... You want it to be the original.
So Commander Bakara, we got a new helmet mold, first of all.
Yeah, he looks kind of funky.
2 claps
but
for
I think
Lego.
It's just...
That's all they get. Somebody said this online, and now I can't get it out of my head. He looks like a chipmunk with his cheeks full.
Yeah, it does kind of look like
Doesn't
that.
he?
Yeah.
And once you see
I think it's...
you can't unsee it.
I think he looks kind of cool, though. Like...
No, I agree.
It almost looks like a snowtrooper helmet, but not quite.
So that's what I
And
was
then
just
having
about
like
to
the
ask.
clone face on it is kind of cool.
It a reprinted snowtrooper helmet on the Marines? I think
It
it is.
looks like it, but I think they've changed a few details.
Okay.
Like on the
Because
sides,
if it
it's
is,
more
it's-
pronounced. Like,
It's the new one for sure.
yeah, the helmet part of it, like where the red is
Right.
more pronounced, and so I think it might be a new piece because of that.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a new piece,
It
and I
might
think
be a
they
new
look really
piece.
good.
I'm going. That's going to be one of my first comparisons. Is that actual piece to the
Yeah.
modern snowtrooper helmet?
Yeah.
Looks perfect. But Bakara, is such a mixed bag for me, because like I feel like he looks funky, but I don't know what to complain about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he's just an interesting looking character.
he's interesting. He's got his chipmunk cheeks. He's got his chipmunk cheeks, and that's kind of it. You know.
Yeah, he's just weird by design.
He's just weird. Lego. He's just weird. Exclusive minifigure, the new and
on
improved
me.
Kiadi Mundi.
I think he looks good. He looks relatively the same as the one from the battle pack a while back.
Yeah. Which also, technically, I was thinking about this today. You know how for the longest time Lego wouldn't make Order 66 sets?
Yeah, that's basically what.
It's basically an Order 66 set.
Yeah, same with the MTT.
Yeah.
I mean, not quite, but
But Bly and Ayla Secura,
yeah,
lots of Revenge of the Sith going on. But
yep.
I think that's enough about this. It's a small
The turbo
build.
tank.
It's got
Small build.
good minifigures.
Yeah, it's expensive. What were you
Again,
gonna say?
it's $160 for 800 pieces, and it's going to be sitting on the shelf next to the MTT, which is $160 for 976 pieces. So
Yeah.
it's just like Lego, like for all the people who care about price per piece so much, it's not like a perfect measurement, but
It's a pretty bad measurement
Lego
compared to what we've had in the past.
Right. Lego knows that people care about that. And so to
Yep.
put out 2 sets at the same price, 100 pieces off of each other, almost 170 pieces off of each other, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that the way they've done it for so long, like really up until this, they've been pretty good about keeping it at the 10 cent per piece.
Right.
And so the fact that then in one round they're upping it to 20 is pretty crazy, and a very steep increase too.
Like out of 10, what are we giving her?
I'm giving it a 5, and
5.
the 5 is heavily carried by the minifigures.
Right.
Like, I think the set is a pretty bad build overall, and I also think that it's a ridiculous price. Which, I mean, I think the MTT is ridiculous too, but
Fair enough.
it's got some redeeming qualities at least. But it's just a lot for what you get there, and we've been able to get better stuff for cheaper in the past, and so
Yeah.
I think that's what's really throwing me off with that and the MTT. But I'll give this one a lower score because of less pieces, and just like the blueprints there. I think the old ones are better build wise, not as detailed but better.
Yeah.
They're bigger. I don't know. It just feels like they're a little bit more put together, and they're about the same amount of pieces.
Right.
So,
yeah, I need to look up what those plus inflation would cost.
yeah.
I'm going to actually, I'm going to do a weird ranking, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to fully agree with you on what the set is. Just pure cost to what it is, I think it's a 5. I think it's some good minifigures that are in an insanely overpriced set that also is not as good as it could be, right? All of the same things that you said. It's just, it's not $160 worth of value for what it is. The minifigures are awesome. And, like, Lego could have been smart. They could have leveraged it and been like, yeah, we don't put, waist capes in sets, but, for this set, to make it more worth it to you, we gave them all waist capes, which is like, it would cost them 5 cents to give all of them waist capes. But they could, like, try and earn that price tag, but they don't even try. They're just like, no, it costs what it costs because we said so. And, like, that's that.
Yep.
So that's my...
I'm with you there.
That's my real ranking, right? That's my straight up... what the set is, what it costs ranking.
Last person over here.
This is my completely unfair ranking that you can take it or leave it depending on if you agree with me. So, it's a 5 in my book for what it is and what it costs. It's a 3 because it could have been a UTAT. And
so give it a 4 then?
So,
meet in the middle?
Yeah, it's a 4. There you go. I put it at a 4. Moving on, Jango Fett's Playscale Slave 1. Sorry, Jango Fett's Starfighter. Just kidding, we're not doing that. Jango Fett's Slave 1. Let's first address the elephant in the room. Lama Su.
I think it's good. I mean,
mold.
they've got a blueprint for Kaminoans now, because of the one that came in Obi-Wan's Starfighter a few years ago. And so it was actually surprising we haven't got another one until now.
Yeah.
But he looks great.
He does.
I mean, like I said, they've got the mold down, so
they've been nailing it. I mean, that's the highlight figure of the set. Now, also, I like that Lego did this, but we'll talk about it. We get another Jango Fett the same year that we get the UCS Jango Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps a lot of the same stuff, but it's different. I think this is good.
They not have arm printing on it?
No arm printing.
Okay,
everything else is the same. I think, listen, it costs them next to nothing to add that arm printing. It's not actually that you're spending so much more on the UCS set that you are paying for that quality. But I don't like when Lego releases a UCS set, puts an exclusive minifigure in it, everyone gets excited, the minifigure
and then re-releases it.
Right. It goes crazy on the secondary market, and then they put it in a playset. That makes me so upset. So Lego said, okay, we'll give you Jango Fett. If you don't want to buy the UCS Jango Fett, don't do it. Mask. That's fine. Yeah. But you don't get that figure. And I think that's good.
That's what they should be doing.
Right.
That's what they should have done with Rex.
Adding
even
value.
Though I probably wouldn't have him still. But
fair. But listen, I wanted the Venator really bad. I still want the Venator really bad just to display. Yeah. But, I don't want it that bad for Yularen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
which is cool, but I would rather just buy him separately.
Right. I'm going to get the Venator eventually, but now I'm talking about $600 for literally just this build, which, don't want to downplay the Venator. It's a great set. Yep. But I'll be honest, Rex was a draw for me, and now I have him, and I could get 3 more for, free. So on the flip side, the young Boba Fett, I believe, is the exact same minifigure. I
think he is too.
It's fine because people hated that minifigure.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. But the actual build, what do we think?
It's basically an exact copy of
it's a recolor.
Boba Fett one that came out 3 years ago.
So
which is fine.
The question.
I think there's 100 more pieces in it, but they raised it $20.
Where did the 100 pieces go?
Yeah.
So this set is
the cart looks a little different.
Out of all of the sets coming out in this wave, this is the best price per piece.
And it's the one you're not going to get.
Well, yeah, actually. Yeah. At least not on release day. It's the best price per piece.
Maybe down the line. You need a Jango Fett eventually for the clone collection.
So, but what's wild is it's the best price per piece, yet it's $20 more than basically its reskinned cousin.
Yep.
Right? And so that just leaves me like, what?
Where did those pieces go? Where's
that
the extra money coming
going?
from?
Exactly. So that I don't get. And yes, it has an extra minifigure. Fine. I agree. But I don't know, man. Value-wise,
I didn't think this through.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the best set, right?
Yes.
Like, am I crazy?
But no, I agree. However, it's also, if you look at the Slave one that they released 3 or 4 years ago, I think it's basically the exact same.
It's
and
basically
so
the same.
if you want something like your kids or something, why aren't you just buying the old one? Because the old one has no resale value. There's nothing special about it.
No. It's
or even the older Slave one models, aside from the Jango Fett one, because it's very old.
But he's back twice now, and I actually like this idea of having a Playscale and UCS version of the same set at the same time on shelves. Personally, like I think that's fun.
It gives you options.
It makes it hard for me though, because like I kind of wanted the UCS Jango Fett Slave one, and now this one comes out, and I'm like, oh, I definitely want that. But then I'm like, well, but if I just paid more, I'd get the better minifigure, the better build, like all of the things, right? And so it's like, But now, weirdly, in this cheaper set, Lamasu is locked behind that. So if you got the UCS, now you don't have that unless you buy another Slave one this year. It's interesting how LEGO makes their decisions, I guess, is the moral of the story.
Quite.
But
quite strange.
We've known that forever, haven't we?
Yeah. They've always been weird about their decision making.
A ranking for this.
I would probably give it, for what it is, and it's meant to be like,
and for what its price is. Yeah.
I would give it maybe a 9, honestly.
Okay.
Like pound for pound, I think it's better than the MTT, like for what you're paying for, what you're getting. And so I think I'd give it probably my highest ranking out of this wave, but the fact remains they could do better with it. Actually, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it keep it the same as the MTT.
I was going to call it an 8
just
as
because
well. Or an
they
8.5.
They could do a little better.
I was going to be at an 8.5, and it's just because it could be a bit better. It could be the exact same thing for $10 less. And I'd be on it. Call it $10 or $15 less, maybe $15, $20. Put it at the price of the old one. I'd call it a 10 out of 10. But that price,
I'm probably with you on that.
That price is hard to swallow. But that moves us on to the Rebuild the Galaxy Force Burner Snow Speeder.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that one yet.
Have you
I looked at it,
Rebuild the Galaxy?
I've not.
I haven't either.
The sets look great.
The sets are fun. So we have a Snow Speeder, a smaller speeder, and a Stap Speeder. And then we have... So this is what's fun about this. We have Sig Greebling, which what a name. Greeble. With an orange lightsaber. Dude, we've been wanting an orange lightsaber forever. I was...
Wait, there's a Lego orange lightsaber now?
Yes.
Yep, apparently.
What?
So I wanted Balin Skull and Shin Hati in their sets to come with orange lightsabers. I was very vocal about this, and they did not. So now we know that LEGO is willing to do that, So either they got that wrong, or they just weren't willing to do it for them for some reason. I don't really know.
Or they
what
just
the story
assumed
is
they were red or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it could have been like a pre-production leaks image that they designed them off of. I have no idea. But that makes that a little bit more annoying. But we have an orange lightsaber, which for me is really exciting. Then in Darth Devon, we have a really cool looking, just generic Sith minifigure. And then we have Salatus, who, again, the minifigure design is just top notch. They're putting all of their effort into the characters that they are genuinely making up, which is really funny to me. And then he's got 2 purple lightsabers that on the picture don't look
they look kind of...
They look indigo.
They look clear-ish.
Yeah. So we'll see.
They don't look like the ones they've been putting out.
I'll compare them to Mace Windu, but they look really cool. And they're chained together. The minifigures in this and the lightsabers are just awesome. They're so cool.
Yeah, makes me kind of think of... what was that show they put out where it was just a bunch of random kind of nonsense put together?
I mean,
Well, I mean, that could be anything.
Right.
The one that was kind of like
Visions.
anime-ish,
Visions.
maybe? Is that it? Yeah.
Star Wars Visions. We have a cool build. Like, it's a snow
Yeah.
speeder, which a lot of
But
people
it's
are talking
got hot
about
rod
this.
flames.
Right. A lot of people are talking about this new windscreen piece, which I think is
Yeah.
absolutely fair because it's perfect.
No!
We have a perfect piece for the snow speeders now. You know what? Weirdly, it's one of the cheaper ones from this wave at $55.
Oh my gosh, that's just horrible.
All right, so this set,
Yeah.
out of 10,
Personally, I'm not super interested in it, but for what it is, it's an 8.
for what it is, it's okay. I agree.
And honestly, if I were a kid, like this is something I would have been all over as
If
a kid.
I was a kid,
so
this would have been my favorite
if I
set
was
of
a
this
kid,
wave.
yeah, probably.
You get 3 people with cool lightsabers, and they look cool, and then you get a freaking flame hot rod speeder. No, I agree.
Yeah,
This is
I would
an
be
8,
all over it.
and I think
But yeah, solid 8,
Solid
and I would
8.
be higher if I was a kid.
fair enough. I like that. The UCS ATST,
I think it's awesome,
$200.
and that's a great price for a UCS set, especially because that kind of mid-range UCS set price has been going up over the last couple of years.
Yes,
It
we
was
haven't
at
got
200.
one since the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was at 200, and then it went up to 250, and then Slave 1 this year was 330, 340 something. So they've been going up,
Oh.
and so to see one, I don't know if it's an official UCS set,
It is,
but
no, it's got
okay,
the packaging
then-
and everything.
okay, then in that case, the fact that they've kind of reversed course and gone down a little bit on the price is a plus.
But
So I think
there's
it's a great
two
looking
ways
set.
to look at it. There's 2 ways to look at it. Because I think LEGO's counting on that mentality, which is comparing it to the other UCS sets. But if you compare it to its old self, it's only got a few extra pieces. It's
Yeah.
smaller than the old one. And the old one was a UCS set for $80. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
that has to be adjusted for
And-
inflation. And when
yeah.
you I did this already. When you adjust it for inflation, it would now be 157.
Okay,
So
so it's still up price
It's
wise.
still
Wait,
up.
How many pieces are in it total?
I feel
absolutely
like
it's a Lego
proportions-
video.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
proportions on the feet are just outrageous. Like, it kind of looks terrible.
Are you looking at the ATST?
Yeah, the ATSC, the UCS.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find a picture of it. Hang on. I think I sent it to you earlier, Josh.
just
Let me
want-
find
I just
it.
wanted to
No,
fit in,
it's not
guys.
there.
No, we love the contribution. Let me find it.
18 plus.
like
In the
god-awful.
top corner, it says Ultimate Collector Series. 1,513 pieces for $200. So the 2 value additions that they're giving you in this, while it is smaller, it comes with a couple hundred more pieces.
Yeah.
It comes with a minifigure. The old one had no minifigure. And it comes with a plaque. The old one didn't have a
Okay.
plaque. This one says Imperial All-Terrain Scout Transport. So, like, they're giving you a little bit of extra stuff
like
there.
plaques.
But are they giving you an extra $50 worth of stuff? I don't know. And also, I don't
the
know that this
minifigure
minifigure's exclusive.
might end up being. It might be. I need to look at it.
It could be. Yeah, take a look. Because that's not looking new to me.
Yeah, the feet definitely do look a little weird. I'm with you on that, Luke.
Okay, Josh, can you clip that out of context?
Yeah.
Get that soundbite.
Don't even worry.
But I think it actually it looks
I think
kind of perfect to
I
me.
think it looks
like
really good.
for a UCS build, I think it's awesome.
And hey, this is one that I've like kind of looked at like as
Yeah.
being one of the past ones and been like, I really hope they do that again, you know?
Yeah.
And here we are, like they did it.
Pilot might be exclusive.
It might be.
I have a couple of
I
them,
hope it is, man.
but I don't think it's like it's not the exact same as this one, and so it might be a little different.
I'm going to call this a 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10 too. I think it's the best set in the wave.
I think it just
I actually
looks
forgot
perfect.
about it.
And then like no,
Yeah.
I think listen, UCS sets are trending up and up in price. So while this may be overpriced versus its previous counterpart, they didn't just raise the price. They increased pieces count, which you may not even be able to tell where the pieces went, but they increased piece count, gave us a
Yeah.
minifigure, and gave us a plaque. Raised the price
Yep.
$50 and called it a day.
Yeah. How many
10
pieces
out of
are in it
10.
again?
1,500.
For 200, that's not too far off.
No.
I mean, it could be worse.
We've seen that it can be.
Yes, we've seen it in this wave.
In this wave,
much
that it
worse.
can-
What do you rank it, Luke?
What do you
What do you
think, Luke?
think?
So I mean, a 10 means it's like perfect,
Perfect.
like no room for improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would say 8, just because I really do think for a UCS they ought to do better to get the proportions right. I know that's nitpicky,
fair.
but like
No.
if you're paying
No,
$200 for a model, like
And if you're gonna call it a
like,
Yeah.
it's got.
And they've done a lot of
look like
they've
it.
done a lot of UCS stuff that's minifigure scale, and this one's I don't think this one is.
On to what I think may be a pretty polarizing one. We have the LEGO Star Wars V19 Torrent.
I think it's worse than the original.
$65, 560 pieces. That is obviously something that we have to address.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's smaller than the old one by a lot. It's more detailed, I think, and it looks like it does. The main concern was that it wouldn't do the function. I never for a second thought that LEGO was going to take that function out.
Yeah.
So yes,
I didn't either, honestly.
when you fold down the wings, the tail goes down too. But Noah, as you pointed out, that tail, it's
not very detailed.
It's not detailed on both sides. It is
that's not hard for them to do because I'm pretty sure they did it on the old one. Like
yes.
it doesn't have to look great, but at least put some like other colored bricks on
And
that
actually,
side,
funny enough,
which is what they did on the old one.
if you look at all the pictures, you see the reverse side of it because it's flying like that direction. Like we don't
Yeah.
even see the like tiled side, which is bizarre.
Oh, so it may be all the same color then.
I think it might be. I think it's just white tail. 567 pieces, $65, and it's
Price
smaller.
wise, that's probably the best bang for your buck.
It was rumored that it was going to be 75, so I'm taking that
Yes.
into account. But
Yes,
then
I do remember that.
we have to go to minifigures, and this is where I want to kind of sit for a little bit, because first we have an Obi-Wan that I'm going to go as far as to say is the best Obi-Wan we've ever gotten.
Let me get to the picture. Hang on.
That's
Luke,
a
you should look this
bold
up,
claim.
too.
It's a bold
Can someone send me a
Clone Wars.
screenshot?
Oh yeah, wait, hang on. I'll just send this post
Yeah,
to
send it to him.
to our group chat.
We got
I
Clone
think
that's
Wars
definitely-
armor.
Clone Wars wise,
We got a Clone Wars
that's-
armor
I'd agree with that.
on a
They've never
Lego minifigure. Like they've never
they've
done
never
it.
printed his arms like that.
They've never done
So-
it. Okay, I called him a perfect minifigure. We could have gotten dual molded legs here, but whatever.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
enough.
that was my thought.
For
don't
for a
kill me
Clone
or
Wars
kill me, I don't
Obi-Wan,
care.
I think it's the best one they've done.
Agreed.
I'm trying to look because I think I have one.
And then right next to him, the best Phase 1 clone pilot we've ever gotten, because finally, Lego fixed the damn mold.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
they gave it an
Clone
actual
pilots have
helmet mold.
never had a fin. They have always had a smooth back to their helmet, and
Yep.
and people have been shaving them down for years. I'll like go to buy or be like wanting to buy a clone lot, and then I see that the pilot that I thought was going to be a good pilot has his fin shaved down. Like, this is a very common thing. I have seen online a lot of disagreement about this Ventress, so I'm just gonna let both of you talk about your opinion, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. So Noah, what do you think of this new Asajj Ventress?
Because I have the old one, I don't like it that much. And I have the one that came out in that Anakin Starfighter I was
Right,
talking about,
right.
the one from the 2003 Clone Wars
Yep.
series. I have it somewhere, and she looks great in that one. Like, that is the best version they've ever done of her, in my opinion. And I don't think this one looks bad per se, but I don't like the purple. The purple feels really flat. Like, I know she wears purple, but like they didn't really give it any. I don't know what I'm trying to say with it. It just looks like they kind of put purple on there and didn't change anything. Other than that, I think she looks fine.
Overall, if you
Face
had
is
to
fine.
rank her out of 10, like not the set yet.
Oh, she's better. I don't know if I'd be able to give her a number. She's better than both Clone Wars Ventresses that they did.
Fair. Okay.
Like, those were both bad, but the 2003 one I think is the best.
Okay.
Okay, so I have I have two of the Ventress that came with Savage and Anakin in that
Yep.
speeder set.
Yep.
And I loved that Ventress. I think there are two. I'm gonna kind of dance around your question for a little bit. There are two perspectives. Oh yeah, I'm dead. There are two perspectives when looking at this. I think on one end, I will always be partial to the philosophy of less is more on Lego minifigures. I mean, I think
That's fair.
because of that like nostalgia aspect of like, hey, remember whenever you know everyone had the same hairpiece and the
Yeah,
eyes
right.
were all black and
We just
you
changed
know,
the
and like we
color.
just joked about how awful that Clone Wars Anakin was, but like when colors didn't even match because they didn't have the correct color. You know what I mean? And so I've always kind of loved that retro feel. Now, when they do it right, like when you think of like the Lego Boba Fett's and like the Clone Wars Obi-Wan that just nailed it, I think it's really hard to go from a minifigure that nails the detail to going to this, and it just doesn't quite work. So I actually like the purple. I like it. I think with the Clone Wars style of animation, that level of detail just doesn't make sense because at what point do you like give more detail than the Clone Wars animation actually cares to give? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like making
So
up.
I think it doesn't look good because Obi-Wan looks so good and the Clone Trooper looks so good, and the purple just kind of feels out of place. Doesn't feel like it matches. So I personally would give it a 7. 7 being high because you know the printing is good, and it's printed feet.
I like the purple just as like how it looks. You know, like accuracy aside, I think it looks good. And she looked purple in like some things, kind of. You know.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's wrong, but yes,
Pull the
I
trigger, Luke.
agree. Like, I really like this Ventress, and I don't have Ventress, so I'm excited that I'm about to have one. But on the flip, I think that the Obi-Wan and the clone are just about perfect, and I think she's the standout, like, okay, clearly this is the least of these. You know what I mean? So she's not inherently bad, she's just worse, if that makes
Right,
sense.
and that was kind of my point with like Obi-Wan looks so good,
Right.
and so it makes her look bad, which isn't
Yes.
fair.
No, I agree.
But if she was in a different set, maybe a more colorful, daring set, I think I would like it a lot more.
So, set overall, $65 for a downsized, more detail V19 Torrent. What are we gonna rank it?
I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I think it could have done better on the set. I think the figures are good.
I'm gonna go a little bold. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Alright.
I think, I mean, I'm always partial to spaceships, and so I mean it's true. Like buildings in Lego City and Star Wars spaceships are like my two favorite things. So I think it does its job. And realistically, you're gonna buy that set because of how freaking awesome the minifigures are, and not because
Right.
of how disappointing the ship is.
And I'm gonna split y'all right down the middle and call it an 8. I think it's a good build. It's an overpriced build. On something like this, though, I don't think we're gonna get this Ventress again. I don't think we're going to get this Obi-Wan again, at least not soon. The pilot will probably get again. So having this be a slightly overpriced set means selfishly my minifigures are worth more once I own them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get this set, and it's something to take into account is like yeah, we don't like how much the sets cost, but then when like the minifigures become worth as much as they are, well, yeah. we're a fan of that. I'm glad that I'll be able to get one without spending like $300.
Yeah.
And I like its size. I think it's more minifigure scale now. I could be completely wrong.
No, you're so right. You're so right. And I think people kind of tend to forget, like, when you think of a minifigure being, however many studs tall, like, that's basically 6 feet right there.
Right.
And so it's like most of Lego sets are like outrageously oversized, obviously for a good reason, but like
Yeah.
technically kind of these like clinker, like those like little X-Wings that they've been doing, little TIE fighters that they've been doing, these little like
more
clunky
accurate.
sets are technically more to scale.
That brings us to two that I would like to knock out really fast. Personally, selfishly, I just don't care about them. Okay, so we'll try and keep these really short. We have the buildable K2SO to join the buildable droids line. $80. What do we think? Comes with a
Really?
K2SO.
Only $80?
Only $80. Comes with a K2SO minifigure. Is pretty tall. Like it's.
Yeah.
It's. I
Let me
heard
go find that
someone
one.
say that the new battle droid that comes with the stat speeder, this K2SO is correctly proportioned to that battle droid. So like a good amount
Okay, that's
taller.
pretty cool. Yeah, that battle droid is pretty tall.
Right. So
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I
like
think for what it is, it's just about perfect.
for what it is, it's
looks
about a
good.
9 for me probably.
Also, we got the K2SO minifigure back.
Yeah, and he'll be in other stuff too. I'm
Of course.
sure they'll make more Andor
Season
sets.
2. And also next year is the 10-year anniversary of Rogue One.
Yeah, I guarantee they make more sets from that.
So if they're bringing him back for this, he's going to come back in more. So I'm happy with it. I will also call it a 9. I think value for money. If you want a buildable K2SO, it looks great.
Yeah, I give it a 9.
Luke, I think,
Eight,
Oh,
I think.
we both gave it high scores.
I do not like the K2SO.
Really?
Yeah, the head is just hideous.
Well, I mean,
That's just
it
K2SO.
just kind of. Yeah,
I mean,
You don't got a dog on my
Yeah,
guy.
it just doesn't look like him.
Suicide.
I mean, wait, hang on. Let me find a different picture. Okay, I take that. Well, actually, you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that for what they did. I like it.
Ranking out of 10.
I give it a solid 8.
Solid
I mean,
8. Cool.
I'm not really into it, but like I feel like
Yeah.
No, fair enough. 998. I think it's good value for money, and I think it looks good. Another one that I just want to knock
if you're
out.
into that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. Another one that I want to knock out relatively fast. The buildable
buildable-
Ewok.
I haven't even seen a picture of it yet.
It looks like a buildable Ewok. I'm
Alright,
gonna
well.
slap y'all with a stat though. $120.
yikes.
So more expensive than K2SO.
By $40.
Okay, how many
And
more pieces?
It's smaller. We do not have a piece count. Oh wait,
Okay.
1,010.
Okay, I mean, that's a reasonable for the piece amount.
The
then.
annoying
reasonable
thing is,
price.
he was leaked for the longest time for $90, and is coming
Yeah,
out
that
at
would be-
120.
That would be more frustrating.
So, I'm gonna say the build 8 out of 10. If you like it, it looks like an Ewok. The value
Wow.
for money, 6 out of 10.
Okay. Well, since I still haven't seen a picture, I'll give it a 7 and just live with it.
Fair enough.
It sounds like it's an okay set.
It is in fact okay. Well, that leaves us with one set from this wave to talk about, and that is, of course,
Battle pack.
the most polarizing 327th battle pack. Luke, brace yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
$45
Okay.
for 258 pieces and 4 minifigures.
Well, those better be some pretty darn good minifigures.
They are very average minifigures.
That is outrageous. It's unfair, actually.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I think they look good. We're going to say the thing that we always have to say. Should have had waist capes. If you're going to print them
what's
on.
it called?
I think if you're going to ask, like, listen, we talk about they need waist capes. If you're going to print them on, then you need to give it to them. That's always true. But when you're charging $45 for 4 of these guys, yeah.
Only 4?
4. They absolutely
Well,
need
plus droids and stuff, but still.
3 B2s and a buildable spider droid is not the rest of that battle pack for me.
Wow, that is...
I mean,
Because you're also getting 4 of the same minifigure.
if you're spending that much money, I feel like you're a little entitled to want a waist cape. Am I crazy?
Not at all.
No, I would want one.
Same thing
Yeah.
with our commander friend. They have these fantastic pauldron pieces. I really like the pauldrons. I think that new piece they should use for everything. They should just print it with whatever color they need and ship it. The ATRT is smaller, but people than the old 501st Super Battle Pack. But people complained that one was too big to be minifigure scale, so this one is truly minifigure scale. But I mean, okay. The old 501st Super Battle Pack came out. Are we that old?
No, it was
Seriously?
2019, I thought, or 2020.
5 years
So it'd
ago.
be at least 5.
Are we really? Wow, we are that old. Okay. It came out 5 years ago. And in 5 years, LEGO's telling us that inflation has made this $30 set be worth $45 now?
Yeah, it's a little absurd.
It's yeah. And like they're gonna say like, well, we only gave you 2 B1 battle droids in that battle pack, and we give you 3 B2s. Sure, but that's not $15 different. But here's the comparison I want to make, right? This is where I want to get to. The
Oh, come on, man. I was trying to shoot it.
501st Super Battle Pack came with a bigger ATRT and a full speeder
Yep.
and the same number of clones for $15 less.
Yeah.
This comes with a smaller ATRT and instead of a speeder, a dinky little spider droid.
Mm-hmm.
Same number of minifigures, and instead of 2 B1s, they give you 3 B2s. Wow, those B2s are on Bricklink worth $2.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. That set's a 5 out of 10 for me. That's bullcrap.
It's so frustrating because the minifigures are fun. Like, I'm so glad that we have Star Corps troopers now.
Mm-hmm. The updated ones.
Updated.
Open
ones,
the.
right?
You liked the. Oh yeah, you liked the Galactic Marines a lot though.
Oh, but see, again, not perfect. They should have pauldrons. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to call any modern Lego clone perfect. I don't think we've had a perfect clone since, I mean, maybe that old Super Battle Pack. I was gonna say since like 2015, 2014. That was definitely like the peak. But the Super Battle Pack with the 501st was, with the no helmet holes, like that Jet Trooper.
Mhm.
I have nothing I can complain about with that Jet Trooper.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's ridiculously overpriced.
Okay.
But I like the clones.
Right.
I think they're actually really good.
Okay, here.
But I'm different than you because I don't mind the helmet holes.
I'm not complaining about
And
helmet holes anymore.
They should have waist capes like the Galactic Marines.
This is where I'm at. Is like,
But-
if I look at my clone case, I prefer the clones without helmet holes, but I am never going to expect or ask Lego to make a new clone without helmet holes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's too much customization that you can have with it.
Right.
So
and like we've
why
got
would they leave that out?
commanders that we wouldn't have gotten if they didn't have helmet holes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask both of y'all this. You said a 4 in its current configuration, but POV, it's $30. What's your new ranking?
Probably a 9.
Yeah.
With the only problem being the tiny little problems with the clones,
Yeah.
which again they're not going to fix that, but that would be the only thing holding it back.
Yep.
So
Luke?
No, yeah, I mean it's still a solid 5 for me. I think it only gets that because I think the minifigures are good.
Fair.
But it's outrageous. It's unfair. It's stupid.
And then the exact same set, but they release it for $30. What would you rank that?
I'm not gonna lie, a 7 because the set is still pathetic. You get your goofy, builds for 2 builds, and it's just like, well, this is, I don't know, pretty chintzy.
Anyways, this has obviously just been a very long video of all of us kind of giving our opinion. If you like this style of video, definitely comment down below. I just kind of wanted to get both my and some other people's opinions on this wave because I think it's a very controversial wave. There's a ton of stuff coming out, lots to talk about, and a lot that kind of just shows the direction of LEGO right now. And when we have our first $1,000 set coming out later this year, and LEGO's doing this in $40 sets, it makes you wonder, will they be cutting corners then? But I guess that's to find out.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely, yes. Hopefully not. But I guess that's to find out another day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely let me know. And subscribe. It's completely free. And I will see you in my next video. Peace!